blown off course to land here.
Well, you know, I came from California, from Sri Lanka, from to California.
By way of California, but what's the name of the church that you were at in
Eastern
California?
Pasadena, First Church of the Nazarene, and then the Angelus Temple.
That's
I mean,
what
I grew up in
thinking.
Angelus
Temple. Yeah, he grew up in Angelus Temple.
He was in church all the time with his dad.
I think I'm here because at a young, maybe age 7 or 8, my dad pushed me forward to go to the altar, and one of the evangelists laid his hand on me. And I think that was one of the reasons why I'm here. I don't want to be, I'd rather be in sunny California. Well, then she's the reason that kept me here.
How's that? Why did you keep him here?
Well, we met in college in Boston.
At Eastern Nazarene.
And that was.
Do you know
almost
Eastern
50 years
Nazarene?
ago.
You know Eastern Nazarene? I told him, do you know that Eastern Nazarene College is right across the street from the parsonage we were in for 8 years?
Oh, that's, wow, I know
Right
that person.
across the street from the church.
Yep,
The big with the steeple.
yes.
Yeah,
Well
the one
listed.
across the street on Gould Street,
Yeah.
and West Elman, East
Wow.
Elman Gould.
In Google,
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
We met and.
So you met there.
He was a star basketball player then, not
Well-
a.
He was.
Yeah.
Not a preacher.
Not a star,
preacher and
not a
star-
star historian.
I'm a math major. I knew nothing about history. I didn't care about history. I didn't even know about America. I just knew about California. The weather's good.
Yeah, golfing and tennis.
You know, my father brought me here at a young age and to San Francisco and then eventually to Los Angeles. I said, Dad, where are we going? Not understanding any of this, right? He goes, well, we're going to a land of freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
What do you know as a young boy?
Yeah.
I'm free to play tennis and basketball and do whatever we want.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So you don't
Yeah,
know.
I have a questions, and anyway, what you said that I appreciate, the initiation of Thanksgiving by the President Abraham Lincoln. I wonder, Brandon, you have also the National Thanksgiving Day in Canada, right? So
Yes,
We
Canada
do.
does.
But it's a month earlier.
Yeah,
A month
ahead.
earlier.
Yeah.
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 So how is it made? It's like, here is a national, the holiday, as the Thanksgiving Day is like three big
Proclamation.
holidays,
Yeah.
Christmas and Easter and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's
So is
a,
that the big enough?
it's
Yeah,
a
it's big.
holiday,
It's
but
a
it
big.
doesn't have the historic significance that
Yeah.
the American Thanksgiving.
Mm.
Yeah, but really, there was no Canada and United States back then.
Mhm.
It was all
One territory.
what was it? What, Virginia? It was all called Virginia. Everything north.
Yeah, that's
Everything
called the
north.
Jamestown in Virginia, the 1606.
Yeah.
That's the first, so-called colonists that started in the city there.
Yeah.
And then in all of them, the deceased and passed away by the epidemic. All of them died. Then four of them who were survived by Captain John
Right.
with the Pocahontas.
You're right.
The two tribes.
John
And
Smith.
she brought up to the Queen of the Elizabeth, and then back in England. And Queen Elizabeth himself allowed their marriage. And John Captain survived, and his wife, Pocahontas, died in England. And the two of them out of four Indian, together with the pilgrims in Mayflower, the two of them as interpreter.
Right.
Yeah,
They did what?
Interpreter.
So,
Oh,
four
interpreter.
Native Americans
Okay.
who accompany
The
the
Mayflower.
Pocahontas with Captain John
Mm.
in Jamestown in 1606. I guess they were able to go to England in 1608.
Yeah.
Then Captain John married under the permission of the Queen Elizabeth. There is a picture that Queen Elizabeth gives to her.
I've seen that.
Then they married, and two remained in England, and two accompanied with the two ships. One is the Mayflower, the other is the shipwreck in the sea. They combined, but still two interpreter accompany
So we're on the boat.
102, the passengers
Really?
together.
You don't see their name there.
Yeah, there's a name. There's a name. There's name. Yeah. So I will tell you about it.
Yeah, I've never seen that
Algonquian
listed on the-
language. Yeah.
Passengers of the Mayflower.
Mm.
And then the settlement before that was called the Lost Colony in Roanoke Island, North Carolina. The Outer Banks preceded Jamestown.
Yeah, that's why Jamestown was restored, because no one knows the exact location. It's a swamp, so there is no any kind of clue or any traces that we find. However, archaeological discovery found that the settlement, first time in the history of America, was made in Jamestown between North Carolina and then the Jamestown, the vicinity between like the modern day the Jamestown, but that's a swampland.
That's where I was born, in Outer Banks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
so I know that history well.
Yeah, you would, Mary.
Well,
That's your
we
son.
really
You are the
appreciate what you
heir of the
guys-
American
Yeah,
history.
but the intention, as good as God's entering the Western Hemisphere, and the intention of the colonies south was totally different than the intention of the
Yeah,
Pilgrims.
absolutely.
Vastly different purpose.
It was all
We
about
were just
economic
at Cape
development
Henry,
and
where
and
they
taking
Take-
land.
planted the first
take-
cross.
Right.
And David Barton has put out a great map of the flow of liberty. What would this nation, what would these colonies then become a nation? What would they face even 150 years later? They would face the Civil War because people aren't property. It was a seed of taking property
Right.
for the king. And where people are free through the gospel. And they deposit
Well,
two different seeds.
If you look at the people groups that came, there's two basic categories. There's the large denominational categories like the Anglican Church, etc. But then you have all these small groups like the Mennonite, like the Quaker, like the Pilgrim. All of them, in a sense, were the ones that said no to the empire.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Yes
the
to
others
the-
said yes to the empire, but they said no to the
Right,
empire.
right.
And so the empire said no to them. and that's really the difference
Yeah, the
between those
historical
groups.
terminology used as the actually like the Anglican communion members are conformist.
Yeah.
The meaning conformist, conform with the monarchy.
Yep.
And then those who reject, it's called the